Hey Internet, what's happening? It's Andrew, otherwise known as Drewicious. Welcome to my basement. We're going to be doing a weekly watch list. We're going to look at some charts tonight. I do want to call out that we've made some upgrades to the basement. Those of you who have been with the channel for a little bit longer, you may remember that this space here used to belong to Yeezy, or Ye, but I had to take him down because he's struggling. So I've replaced him with Miles Davis. I feel much better about that. I don't know that he can do much to get himself off the wall. So I hope that the eye candy back there delights you as much as it does me. All right, before we jump into a quick review of some of the alerts from last week and our alerts for the upcoming week, we got to jump into some content. Nope, we're not supposed to have that up just yet. We need to jump through a couple of things here. So I would like to point out that we do have other resources on drewsbasement.com. If you haven't been out there before, there's a poll to find out if y'all want to try and get some of these alerts in real time. You can tell me what is the worst thing about me, and you can get in touch with me if you really want to, but I don't know if I'll check it. I'm going to try. Also, I did start, and I know this is crazy because Twitter seems to be catching on fire right in front of our eyes, but I did pop an account out there just so that I can share some of these alerts and recaps out throughout the week. YouTube's not necessarily the best for, quick recap. So I blast some stuff out there until Twitter shuts down and I have to go do it on, I don't know, Facebook or something, Mastodon. We'll see. All right. And before we go any further than that, what would really help me out, guys? If you wouldn't mind clicking that like button for me. It helps with the algorithm. It keeps me relevant if in fact I am. And it doesn't cost you nothing. So that's amazing, right? Okay, we're through the administration. Let's get to the good stuff. Before we go anywhere further, I do want to take a quick look at a recap from last week. These are a couple of the alerts that I put out from Friday. Any of you guys that are on the Discord or following me on Twitter, you can get these alerts in real time. I'm sorry, I put them out before market open. I will put a recap out at the end of the day. So on Friday, we had a couple that hit pretty good. AbbVie was definitely my favorite, 750% that bad boy ran. Thank you. But we also had a 300% runner. We had a pretty good day on Friday. The weekly call outs, we had a couple of winners off of there as well. FXI ran for 475, Nike ran for 400, and Baba, you beautiful thing, ran for 580% off of the weekly watch list that I put out last night, Sunday as well. So maybe we'll get some similar plays today. Let's find out, shall we? All right, behind me is my very complex looking trading setup. Let's get back to a more simple chart. I've got a list here, so we're going to take a quick look. Here is the list of alerts that I put out for this coming week, and maybe tomorrow we'll find out what happens. I am starting to mark some of the weekly swings or weekly trades with a weekly in front. That is an update to the formatting for those of you that have been following around for a while, but we do have some other swings in here. You notice I do have a couple of brackets set up for PDD and Tesla, but over here is my full list. So I have on the list this week, I have FXI, Apple, Airbnb, Tesla, NVDA, PDD, Broadcom, Avgo, Amazon, Enphase, Cat, Cost, X, Oxy, PM, and AR. That rounds out the entire list. We're going to blast through the charts for each of these so you guys can see what I'm looking at. And sorry, I know that one is a little bit eye bleedy, but let's start at the top and work our way down. So FXI, put back in, it looks like we got some down here very low. I don't think actually, I'm holding this one for a swing and it looks like we were pulling quite far away. So I would not pay a lot of attention to that. I am still looking at this level here. If we do inevitably come back down, we've got a gap sandwich here that I'm definitely keeping an eye on. I may pull this one out at some point so that we don't get people confused because this ticker is going the wrong way at the moment. We are starting to approach oversold here. Overbought at this point. So can it keep going up? Absolutely yes. Will it come back down at some point? I would expect it will, but that's what is in there. Let's look at some more recent examples. All right, Apple, I'm taking a look at this one here. We did have a nice bounce off of a lower trend line here, and we're coming back up. There's definitely an opportunity here on a level. I may even set an alert right about here. We're going to add that one into the list today. Now we'll bring that one down just a little bit. So we are approaching here. If we get a little bit more of a rally, this could produce a nice squeeze here, given all the little candles and these levels here. So we could get a nice pop up into these regions. But what I'm mostly looking for here is more of a swing down. I'm keeping an eye out for a reversal back down below this trend line. So if we get down here below 124, I'm looking for a flush down towards 120. I hope that we don't see that anytime soon, but I think it is definitely a possibility here sometime in the next couple of weeks. All right, Airbnb, I do know some people that are short on this, but as I looked at this one, we have some nice consolidation, an inside bar and then an outside bar following, kind of a little bit of a dragonfly doji here. I'm looking for a break of this structure. You can see we've kind of topped out a little bit here. We've got another inside bar back here. So I do expect if we break these levels, we could squeeze a couple of shorts out and potentially get a rise back up into this structure here. So we're going to keep an eye on that one for a push back up. Tesla has shown some resilience down here. We extremely oversold on this just epic meltdown here. We did come into a three-way structure. We've got a short-term trend, a longer-term trend, and then some important weekly levels here. So we're currently just dipping our toe below the first weekly level. If we do lose this support, I do expect we'll come back down here closer to 90. But we are so far respecting this longer-term downtrend line with a very strong candle back off. And again, some very good consolidation. We've got two inside bars followed by an outside bar that is broken above one of them already. So I'm looking for a break above this other one in order to start recapturing a little bit of a bounce out of this thing. So Tesla, with this amount of selling, could draw some attention if it does get moving. So keep an eye on that one. NVIDIA, I've got in. I don't have this one in for a bracket, although I very well could. This is a lot of consolidation in this range here. So if we do see a loss of this level right around 139 here, I will expect a pretty staunch flush. We've got a little bit of support back here about 137. But right now, what I'm keeping an eye on, that you can see all this consolidation, inside bar, inside bar, just a bit of a drop here, and then another outside bar. I'm looking for a break at the top of this structure here that would put us back above this, I believe, 50 MA. There's a little dragonfly doji hanging out here, but I think we can definitely get a squeeze out here if we do start to come back up. There is some traffic up here, so I'm not necessarily expecting a huge move initially, but if we see more of a rally, I think this particular ticker is due for some recovery if tech sees more upwards movement. PDD, this is one that I do enjoy playing. It is extremely volatile. It takes big jumps. There's gaps overnight. This is extremely fun. And honestly, I've played a number of strangles on this one. Most of them have worked out. Not all of them. Sometimes it goes sideways. But you can see that this one does a lot of big bars with the gaps in between overnight. And right now we have a big move following a kind of a push down, gap up overnight, cup move, inside bar here. And I'm looking right now for a break of this inside bar. So this would be new highs here or a flush out here. So I will definitely be watching that inside bar on PDD. In Broadcom here, they had an enormous day off of that big recovery that we had on Friday. So we broke some local highs here. We cleared some other sellers out here as well. We do have some structure over in this area. So, and this is an extremely high premium ticker, but if we see some continuation on this, given how much we've cleared out and how far we have to go back, I think we're back into, like May or June before we see these levels. So, and we still have room to run here with MACD curling. We are starting to approach some higher levels here. So could we bounce back down here? Yes, but I think that we could possibly get back up here closer to 600 before we start to see a reversal. So just looking for continuation there on Broadcom. Amazon, more consolidation like a lot of the other market. You can see some inside outside bars here. We got an outside bar breaking above that, and I'm looking for a break of this other outside bar here for a possible bounce off of this lower trend line. You can see that we do have a lower trend here that has been in force since May. So we have been respecting it fairly well with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 bounces, and this outside bar kind of rocketing off of it. So if we see some continuation, there's plenty of room for us to recover back up here, potentially into the 91, 92, 93 range. End phase, this is really quite the chart. We are coming down. We've broken below these local supports here. We're down now at this point that we have given back everything off of this ER, and we're just about to maybe try and come down and fill this gap. So I'm looking for continuation to the downside. We can see here from the volume profile that we are reaching a bit of a valley. So that can indicate that some buyers may step up here and send this back north. But given that we've already given up this support area here, I am expecting a little bit more downside, and if we slip far enough down in here, we could actually start sliding into this area down here where the next volume node shows up around 190. So keep an eye on end phase, quite a bit of movement on that one. Cat had a huge day on Friday. We had kind of been dancing around some overbought levels here. We did manage to consolidate, cool off just a little bit. MACD is curling. Huge igniting day here, and new highs up above. So if we get up above 250, which is only 9 cents away from the high of Friday, I definitely think that there is a possibility of further upwards movement. Costco also had, like many other tickers, had a strong reaction on Friday. There was a big move here, 7%, which is something for that guy. That's 32. That's basically about 3 times the average range. And if you go look at what that did for, I mean, the contracts on that one were bonkers. You know, like the lowest was 720%. So I didn't see that one coming. I have been watching this one with this trend line here, but as we started to slip down, honestly, I expected it to continue going. But as you can see, we just kind of dipped below that trend line, took a strong move off of it, closed this gap over here, and I definitely think that we can continue up this way if the market rally continues. Off of that massive move. X, this is one of my favorite long-term plays. I know several other traders who feel the same way. I was very interested in this play here. We had a big day on Friday, like I've said probably 20 times already. We are getting close to breaking over some of these local resistances here. I don't know if we're going to actually make it over, but it certainly looks like it is a possibility. We've got room to go here. We're not overextended, and a push over this level here. I've got it marked at 27. If we get over 2760 is where this could really start to get interesting, because if we break these levels here that have historically stood as resistance or supply, that would start to indicate that we may start to push some short positions out of the market, which could give us an accelerated move upwards. So there's plenty of room here, and this could potentially be a swing or a long-term hold if you're into that sort of thing. All right, heading into Oxy. Kind of a similar setup here. We've got a little bit of a shelf here, and we're coming off of a trend line. So I am looking for this to break above these local highs here. We've got one within the last week. We got a couple other structures here as well. But if oil does recover a little bit here, this one definitely seems like it could kind of come up here and start to pull. There may be a little bit of a trend line up here, but there's still, it looks to me like plenty of room. And if we're going by the volume node, that would bring us back up to close to the 69 range on a swing. So two more. We got Philip Morris. I hate the company. I will never give them a penny of my actual money in terms of equity, but I'm happy to play contracts on them. So we broke above this trend line here, so we can see that we've got this this isometrical triangle here. We broke above pretty clean. We did have a little bit of pushback or a little bit of resistance up here as we approach the upper bound of the volume profile, but you can also see that we're very close to, we basically kind of topped out here with this previous resistance, which matches up back here. So if we manage to clear this, I do think that we are capable of, that this ticker is capable of pushing up further, potentially up into the structure here, maybe around the 105, 106, 107 range. So keep an eye on that one. If it sells back off, I will not cry. All right, our final one for tonight, everybody, is AR, Antero Resources. I believe that is also oil. I could be mistaken. I haven't actually done any fundamental research on these guys. I just the chart hit my scanners, and it is interesting. You can see here that we had some consolidation here, a little bit of wedge consolidation coming out. We do appear to be breaking down below this previous level here, and we are just now approaching this previous level here, or this previous support here, where we had a bit of a doji bounce back into a very nice recovery there. But in this case, it really does look like we could continue. Now we are approaching oversold levels, so could we bounce here and come back up and test this upper area here? Absolutely. But if we come back up here and fail, this could be a long fall down. We could come all all the way back down here to 24. So keep an eye on all of those. Those are the guys. Those are the tickets that I have, or the tickers that I have my eyes on this coming week. I hope that some of these plays look interesting to you. Check back in with me on Twitter or here next week, and we'll see how those all panned out. All right, everybody, that's all I got for tonight. I will see you on the floor. I hope you guys make a ton of cash this week, and I will see you all later. Skol.